guys, I'm Micheal Hadera and thanks for tuning in. I'm coming to you from the Antihero 13 store in Queen West. I'm joined by Brian Richards and Dwayne Kennedy of the Fashion Collective. In the past few years, these two have come together as a force in the fashion world, and with a new, fresh, and exciting perspective, they brought excitement back into Toronto's Fashion Week. Thank you guys for sitting and chatting with me.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. So what exactly is the Fashion Collective?
The Fashion Collective, it's a creative consulting and production agency with a strong focus on young, emerging Canadian talent. We source out a lot of new up-and-coming young designers, as well as some established designers who've gone abroad from Canada. And we really want to give them a platform or bring them back to Canada to showcase what they do, which is create these amazing pieces that we want to show both nationally and also internationally.
So when you say talent, are we talking strictly designers? Are we talking models? Are we talking...
Right now we're predominantly talking about fashion designers. However, moving into our 5th season, we're very much growing as a collective. That includes photographers, artists, a whole bunch of other, sects of the arts, fine arts industry.
Mainly really heavy on the arts.
Yeah,
Okay.
Very heavily on the arts, and just having them all come together to create something new that hasn't been seen in the city. But it's pretty much, revolving around fashion design right now.
Okay. And how did it come to be, though?
Well, I'm a wardrobe stylist. I started as a wardrobe stylist. Brian as well is a men's wardrobe stylist.
Okay. So that's you were both doing that before?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and one of our good friends, Michael Thomas, he is a designer in the city with his brand Thomas. We noticed that there was kind of a lack of young, up-and-coming designers showing at Toronto Fashion Week, and we wanted to do some sort of presentation with Michael to showcase this amazing line that he was working on. So we produced the show at the Clint Ronish Gallery. It was off-site the first time we did it at the week before Fashion Week. And it was received very well, and it's something that we realized we really enjoy doing. We really love putting the pieces together. So all the production elements of putting a show on for these designers. And so from there on in, we met with the FGCC, and we started working with them and working and collaborating and bringing young up-and-coming emerging designers to their calendar to kind of bring in some fresh new air and show people what's really happening in Canada now.
Okay. And this came pretty much out of this feeling of detachment, the scene versus what was being portrayed to the masses. We felt like there was a major disconnect between what was being represented at the time on the calendar versus what was actually out there and kind of rotting away. So
you didn't actually think of saying, oh, I want to make this happen. It kind of just came to you while you were actually working in the field.
Definitely came out of a sense of frustration. Like, if we're going to be here, we might as well participate in something we believe in, as opposed to kind of just submitting to something that we don't care about.
And it must be really beneficial for people that are wanting to start out, especially in this type of business. You can go to school and get all the education you need, but you really don't know what to do after that. You don't know where to go.
Yeah,
right?
Well, definitely, and I think, we've learned a lot, even from working with designers from the beginning to now, and just seeing the different levels of where designers are at. Like, we're not just looking at Fashion Week, we're looking at, we really want to help them get on an international sales, the whole chart essentially, where they should be, when their collection should be ready, like helping them get those lookbooks done on time. Because at the end of the day, without sales, you can't really continue on. Like, at first it's what it is, you're building your brand, it's, you're creating a platform for yourself. But at the end of the day, every designer wants to see someone wearing their clothes.
So why do you feel that the Canadian fashion industry needs a fashion collective?
I think in general, maybe it's not just Canada, but I think when you're an up-and-coming designer, when you're, no one really knows that much about you. I think coming together as a collective, as a group, it's just such a bigger force to the media. It's a huge presence when you're together. So you're not just by yourself anymore. You actually you have some guidance along with us, but also you have this amazing group of designers to align yourself with. That it's going to just bring so much more awareness to your name by being involved with them, essentially.
And not only that, I think the Canadian fashion industry needs us because, again, as mentioned before, there's a major disconnect between what is being portrayed as Canadian fashion on an international level versus what's actually happening on the scene. So
I'm so glad you said that.
So they need us to connect those, you know, to really rationalize those two things.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I honestly feel at times like when I see new stores opening up and they're sending us stuff here that we're just these people that just sit at home, wear roots, and watch hockey.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like you'll see their website and it's got all these amazing things. And then when the store actually opens here in Canada, it's just like this
I know
is
what you
nothing
mean.
like I saw online. It's so frustrating.
That's like I've noticed that a lot with styling in regards to when I go out to pull and I know what the collections look like. I've seen them all, and then when I go see what the stores have bought or what they've received,
it's like nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
It makes it really hard, especially as a stylist in Canada, because you just want those pieces. You want to be able to be a true stylist. You have to be fully creative, and to be fully creative, you need everything. I have access to all these clothes. Essentially, and yeah, that would be amazing.
So what was your perception of the fashion world before you started working in it? You must have an idea of what you thought it would be like.
It's a lot more work than it. Like it's a lot of work. Like you have to put a lot of time in. Like it's a lot of free work essentially. Like even I came here from New Brunswick like 7 years ago for school for fashion marketing and merchandising. And I didn't even really know what I wanted to do. I just knew I liked fashion and I wanted to do something in fashion, and then I realized what a stylist was. And I started interning at Ford Models for about a year, and they helped me. Yeah. I was doing styling in that year, but they were helping me a lot to meet the photographers, get me some models. They were really helping me get my portfolio built. And then from then on, it's still been a ton of work. Like
once you're in, you're in.
Once you're in, and you know what? There's a lot of amazing things. I love the whole. There's nothing more exciting than creating something, absolutely. Whether it be a photo shoot or design, anything. It's amazing to do.
Yeah,
that feeling you get when an idea is real and it becomes real, and it's worth all the work that you put into it. Like I couldn't see myself doing anything else.
Where do you see, or how would you like to see the Fashion Collective in 20 years?
I love what Janae Lombardo in New York has done she was with MAC Cosmetics and she started MAC and Milk in New York, and she had a really amazing mandate, which was to a lot of these, she had so many friends that were these amazing designers, but they just couldn't show at Lincoln Center. They couldn't put money into the tents to be a part of that. So what she did, basically she's all about taking a creative corporation and a corporate corporation and bring them together to do something that's amazing, which is, once again supporting these up-and-coming young designers or established designers and just really giving a place where their talent's going to be recognized. So I'd love to be able to do something. Hopefully we're kind of going in that direction now with the Fashion Collective here in Toronto, but it'd be great to expand into other markets where, we can go to the Londons, we can go to the Japans, we can go to Berlin and kind of source out these new up-and-coming designers and kind of, once again, put them under the same umbrella as a collective, and do an amazing showcase where they can begin to build a brand, essentially.
And not only that, just kind of using all these various mediums, these creative mediums like art, installation, music, photography, all those different mediums to pretty much help convey the message of fashion, in Toronto. So it's not just one thing, it's not just a fashion show, it's, it's fashion photography, it's fashion film, it's music integration, it's everything. It's everything.
So what are your thoughts on the fashion industry today as far as collaborations with stores like H&M and Target?
I think it's amazing. I think it's a great way to bring awareness to the designer who's getting involved, and I think it's also a great way to bring awareness to the masses. So, a lot of people, when like H&M does a Versace, maybe Versace's maybe not the best representation, but like a Marni. I don't think as many people in the masses know about a Marni, right. But when they do a collaboration with H&M, all of a sudden there's the ad campaigns, there's the commercials, there's lineups, they see this buzz, and I think that brings an awesome awareness to fashion in general, whether maybe not even the designer, but just to fashion, and it shows that these amazing designers are out there, and it makes more knowledge. It gives people more knowledge essentially of what's going on in the fashion industry. I think for an up and coming designer, a collaboration with like an Aldo or a Denier, it also helps them once again, bring awareness, but also it gets them a paycheck essentially as well. It helps them create their own line through working with these bigger corporations, which I think is mutually beneficial for both parties and with these partnerships and collaborations.
And you know, I also think it does a fantastic job in expanding the minds of the mass consumer. That consumer who would say, "I could never wear that." You know, is all of a sudden considering it because it's in their price point.
Yes.
So I think it's really important for these high fashion designers to do these collaborations, because essentially without this like mass consumerist like market, like they would not be able to, like many of those major brands live off of their diffusions and their collaboration. So I think it's kind of finally, you know, this high-level designer kind of giving the consumer some respect, and it's kind of this mass consumer in turn kind of giving this designer some respect who they used to kind of just bash only because they couldn't afford them. And not only that, let's be honest, I think Sonia Raquel said it when they asked her, why did you do this collaboration with H&M? And her response was candidly, well, they've been ripping me off for years anyway. So I might as well just kind of, you know, work with them and actually have them sell something that's actually Sonia Raquel instead of just blatantly ripping me off and not giving me any credit for it.
And this way she actually gets to make something out of it too, right? She's actually profiting from it.
Exactly. She might as well profit from it.
So who would you say is your favorite model?
My favorite model is Daria. I've been a huge fan of Daria since she started, and you know, she just keeps on killing it with all these different campaigns she's been working on. She's amazing.
Okay.
And staying true to Canada, I love Shalom Harlow. She's still killing it. She's on the cover of Oyster magazine, so right now, and she looks amazing. So.
Any others you want to mention?
Well, Carly Kloss. I like Giselle Bundchen.
Laura Stone.
Yeah.
Huge fan.
And no, I'm not saying Kate Moss, because as much as I do love Kate Moss, it's more so respect. Respect that she's still working.
Yeah.
Like,
It's been,
work.
years?
And she doesn't work out. She doesn't do anything. She doesn't do anything.
Nothing. She
just shows up. So, you know, so I respect that, you know. But, you know, she's not my favorite.
No. I like her, but yeah, no.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
the CKB, CK1 ads in the 90s, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Favorite pieces that you own?
I'd say one of my favorite pieces is the piece I'm wearing, which is this fringe leather.
Is it heavy?
You know what? It's really light. It's deerskin, deerskin.
Okay.
So I wear it almost every day. It's something I just find it adds a lot of texture and movement to my outfit, which I think looks great against black clothes. So.
Okay.
I love my Robert Graham silk shirts because they're exuberant prints that are just very flashy, and I kind of like that.
Okay. Your favorite artist, fashion, musician, actor?
I love Lady Gaga. You know, at first I wasn't sure about Lady Gaga, but then I think she has a really positive message that she's putting out there to a lot of people and to a huge amount of a huge mass of people at that. And I think, you know, she's really taken fashion to the next level in regards to the mainstream. And I think she's influenced almost every artist that's out there right now, especially female artists, and
fashion-wise
to take they have to step it up now.
I do like her. I do like her. Let me just first say that. But I don't know for me if it's a generational thing where I just think, I'm more pro Madonna.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
So I just feel like with when I remember being a kid and seeing those videos of her and Michael. My answer for that question, by the way, is Michael. But when those videos were coming out, they literally were like, nothing's been done like that. I just feel like, as much as I like her and I love her videos and her look and all that, I feel like she's kind of at another level, but she's lifted ideas from them, whereas they started literally from scratch.
Yeah.
And the last question, what is a fashion deal breaker for you that you just can't do?
Like as far as wearing or seen, worn?
Yeah, seen, worn, yeah.
Flip-flops.
Really?
Flip-flops for me too. I hate flip-flops.
That's it? Really? Okay.
I hate them. I just think that
they're gross.
Even though I know when I wear sandals, my feet get so living in the city. My feet are the summer is never that great, and flip-flops are just and that noise.
The noise, the flip-flop.
Yeah.
And I don't like those foamy, platformy flip-flops.
Oh yeah, that was the worst.
That was the worst of the 90s. I'll give you that much.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, guys. That was fun. I really appreciate you coming down and chatting with me.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I love
music
that.
part.